Boom, boom, pow. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, ZndBorn, Berkeley graduated, sound gym validated. If you are like me, you have millions of plugins that you do not necessarily use or need. And I'm a huge believer that you only need maybe 20 plugins, maybe 20 to 25 plugins to get an entire mixing job done. Biggest recommendation is that you have 5 to 10 go-tos, and Techivation has a plugin suite that I love. And I mentioned in my other video that I show you guys the entire suite. These are plugins I know you'll like. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support and viewership helps me continue to grow this channel, and I truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Techivation's plugin suite consists of 7 plugins. They're T-Clarity, Compressor, De-esser, Exciter, Imager, Puncher, and T-Warmer. Let's kick it off with the T-Clarity. This is the T-Clarity. What I love about all of Techivation's plugins, very, very simple, easy to use, very user-friendly plugins. The T-Clarity plugin is designed to detect and remove muddiness in whatever element of the mix that you're mixing on. You have an output control. Your processing knob determines how hard the plugin's working, how much you're going to pull out. The intensity is the ratio of the pull. Sharpness determines how wide the band of the frequency that you're pulling out. Filter lets you hear what it is you're pulling out.
Acting like I can see the truth in your eyes.
All right, so if we take a listen to the low mids, the filter helps us zoom in on the frequency that we're finding problematic. We can pull out a little bit of that muddiness in the low mids.
Really, it's just you in the sky.
You can hit this diff button on the left if you want to hear what the plugin is actually pulling out.
Really, it's just you in the sky. I feel it when you breathe in.
So we go from this.
Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in. Breathe into me.
So really cleaning up the low end of this vocal, because the only plugin that they don't have in their suite is an EQ, and so the T-Clarity really serves as a broom and a mop, cleaning up whatever signal you're running it through. Cycle through our frequency range. Turn the filter on. So you hear all that resonance, all that tingy resonance in the guitar. It's a really aggressive kind of scratchy tone. But for the mix, we want to pull a lot of that nastiness out of the guitar so we can clean it up and make more room for other elements in our mix. Now let's hear the difference. I love that. I love that because that resonance is gone. Let's take a look at their T-compressor. What's really, really cool about the T-compressor, my favorite thing about it, is that it is a serial compressor. So serial compression is when you stack compressors. You basically stack one after the other so that one compressor is doing one job, the second compressor is doing another job, third compressor is doing another job, and so on. The T-compressor allows you to stack different variations of the compressor in succession. I can have the first compressor attacking the transients. I hit this plus sign. I can have a second compressor smoothing out the rest of the signal. You have your bypass knob, your A to B. And in all Techivation's plugins, you can actually cycle through presets. They have amazing presets to start off on. Global presets specific to the plugin. You can scale the GUI if you need to, if you want it a little larger, a little smaller. And you can change the oversampling rate. 2 views for your metering. You have a standard VU meter, a real-time graph that shows you how much compression you're getting. There are 4 different styles of compression. You have a clean, a crispy, a warm, and a thick. Basically determining how much of the harmonics you want to push into your signal. You can cycle through whether you want a fast or slow attack or a fast or slow release. Your threshold and your input, there's a little arrow for your input. You can cycle through control of your input, your output, or if you want to auto makeup gain, button for that. There's also a side chain high pass filter. So let's hear how it sounds.
Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in. You breathe into me.
Let's do some serial compression. So some of the words jump right out at you. So we're gonna use a little fast compression to tackle the initial attack of some of the words, and then we'll use a second compressor to smooth out the rest of the vocal. So for the first compressor, we're gonna go fast attack, dialing in just a little bit.
Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in. You breathe into me. Feeling when you breathe in. Breathe into me. Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in.
So we're going for a fast attack and a fast release. So it grabs the initial attack of the vocal and lets it go. And then we're going to take a second compressor. So we add a second compressor. So we come up here, we hit the plus sign, we add a second compressor. And now we're going to go for a slow attack and a slow release, just to smooth out the rest, and we'll add some harmonics to it, so maybe like a warm.
Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in. You breathe into me. Feeling when you breathe in. Breathe into me.
Well, crispy sounds good too. Nicely smoothed out the initial aggressiveness of the vocal, and the second compressor really just makes everything buttery smooth, mellowed it out. That's why I love these plugins. They're really easy to use. You can immediately get a sound and a smoothness and a roundness and a really good compression with a few simple knobs and a plugin that's easy on your system. And we're still working on vocals here, so let's take a look at the de-esser. Let's see what the de-esser is doing. So now that we're familiar with a lot of the Techivation's GUIs, so you have the same controls, your power A, B, you have your cycle through your presets, you have output control, processing control, you have your frequency ranges, low, mid, high, high, and high end. The intensity acts as the ratio. The sharpness acts as if you want the compression of the pullout gradual or more aggressive. And you have attack and release controls. The look ahead, you have your mix dial, quality, you can hear the frequency that you're dialing in, and you can hear the frequency that you're dialing in with the filter, or you can hear the difference to listen to specifically what the plugin is actually pulling out. You can dial in manually the affected range. You can cycle between stereo or mid-side, a high cut filter, and if you want to dial in a little bit of saturation, you can do that as well. Let's hear how it sounds.
It's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in. You breathe.
So somewhere between the high and the high end, I selected the high end frequency and I dialed in the frequency range just a little bit more, just so I can cover the entire area, because there's a little bit of harshness going on, not necessarily S's, but a little bit of harshness that I can pull out, that I can work on. Dial up your processing. Maybe turn down the intensity. And then let's hear what it's pulling out.
It's just you in the skies. When you breathe in. It's just you in the skies. When you breathe in.
You hear that? That would still be in your mix. And now we have a cleaner vocal with a few simple knobs. I love how effective and versatile this is. It's very detailed.
Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in. Really, it's just you in the skies. Really, it's just you in the skies.
The T-Exciter does exactly what you expect it to do. Adds a little top-end sheen, a little bit excitement to your signal, to your master bus. So as we continue to look at these, very familiar GUI. Dial in how much of the processing that you want, input, output control. Cycle through your presets here. Mix knob, a width knob. So if you want to affect just the mids, and then you can cycle through different effects. All right, so let's listen to it on the mix.
Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in. You breathe into me. Feel it when you breathe in.
Very simple plugin. Add a little top end sheen, a little polish.
Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in. You breathe into me. Feel it when you breathe in.
Really sweetened up the top end for me. The mix sounds good, but you just need a little extra kiss. One simple plugin. Throw the T-Exciter on there, turn up the processing a little bit, and then just pick your flavor. Follow the T-Exciter up with the T-Imager. Input, output, processing knobs. It's a really great plugin for mastering because it allows for more control over your mid and side. You have a low cut filter. The EQ acts as a tilt EQ.
Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in.
Boost the lows, or turn down the lows and boost the highs. There's a boost button here that turns this EQ knob into more of a smiley face EQ. Turn that smiley EQ up.
Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in.
And these are affecting all of your mid frequencies.
Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in.
And then you have your side frequencies on the right hand side. Tilt EQ, and if you toggle the boost, turns it into a smiley face EQ for the sides.
Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in. You breathe into me. Feel it when you breathe in.
I really like the T-Imager plugin for the mix bus. It places the elements a little bit further back, gives you a little more depth.
Really, it's just you in the skies. I feel it when you breathe in. You breathe into me.
Really great to finish a mix with the T-Imager. Next we have our T-Puncher. It adds punch to the signal, input output control, processing knob, a stereo link function, the soft clip. Throw it on an 808, throw it on a kick drum if you want that knock, or you want that fruity loop kick 808 sound that you hear in every record that plays in the club. There's a soft punch mode and a hard punch mode. There's a low cut filter, solo button, and then you also have a stereo where you can cycle between mid or side. Working with the kick drum, let's go mid because all the kick drums sit right in the middle. What's really fun to do is to cycle through the presets. They're really amazing starting points, and a lot of the times you pick a preset and you don't need to touch another thing. Here's what we started like before. Immediately adds that punch to the kick that you want. Get a little more top end. That top end is going to help the kick punch through on smaller speakers. Ooh, hard really drives that point home. Yeah. See? Just that easy. Working on the kick drum, throw the T-Puncher on, dial it up a little bit, and move on. I love simple and easy plugins that just sound good. That's what this does. What else are you asking for? The T-Puncher is easy. It's a one knobber, dial in, super user friendly, and it sounds good. That's why you're looking for a plug-in suite that's like this. Because you have 100 elements in your mix. You have 100 elements in your song to mix. You're gonna use this all the time. Every time you hear a kick drum, this is what you're gonna reach for. It's gonna save you time. It sounds good. You get no complaints. It translates into the outside world, and you don't need to think about another thing. For the meat and potatoes, you need a plug-in suite like Techivation Suite.
You can't say what's on your mind. I feel it when you breathe in. You breathe into me. Feel it when you breathe in.
Ah, that's good. And then finally we have our T-Warmer. The T-Warmer is a secret sauce for the low end, secret sauce for bass, secret sauce for 808s as well. We're working on our bass mix bus. Just to give it a little extra love, you know the GUI, input, output, processing knob, mix knob, frequency. The frequency knob lets you dial in 80. If you're looking for 80 for the kick, or you're looking for a little lower for the sub, so you can really dial in the effective frequency. And the effect modes are different flavors: fat, smooth, hard, and warm. Hard is my favorite. Warm is a second favorite. So let's hear what it sounds like on the bass. So yeah, dial it into taste. So let's cycle through the flavors. Actually, fat and hard sound the best to me. That's what she said. Fat and hard. So when I'm working on my mix, it'd be between those two. Oh, fat just gives it that bump, rounds it off, gives it a nice little fullness in that bass. And hard really helps it cut through the mix. Yeah. Oh, I love the T-Warmer plugin for bass.
Okay. You don't have to be ashamed to cry. I know that you're hurting. You can't say what's on your mind.
They have a plugin for every element of your mix. Like I said, for me, the only thing they're missing is an EQ. Maybe they're working on that for the future. You can get really dialed in and sounding really good with just one plugin suite. Simple, easy to use, amazing user interface. Just really great, lovely plugins. So that's Techivation in their plugin suite. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.